Hi there, in this video I'm going to play Clodomir's study number 7 from his 70 Little Studies book. And then I'm going to talk about two of the main challenges this study gives us. First, to help with the quick dynamics change, I'm going to show you how I used a couple of the practice strategies that I covered in the video for study number 5 for learning difficult lines of music. Following that, to help with getting through all of the intervals, I'll introduce an idea that builds on the ball idea that I introduced in the video for study number 6. The suggestion I have for you now is about a way to think and approach your playing of intervals. I find that it helps me play more easily these types of passages of music, ones that are super busy with lots of tongued intervals, like study number 7 has, and actually so many of the studies in this book. I think it could help you too. Just before I play the study, I want to take a moment and introduce myself to you. I'm Deanna, and after having a career in music for 25 years as a trumpet player and a conductor, my career went in different directions and my trumpet playing went down to about 5 to 10 minutes a day for about the next 15 years. Now I'm working through Clodomir's 70 Little Studies as part of my own journey to get back skills I used to have. The studies in this book offer some interesting challenges when you really dig into them. It took me numerous attempts to play this study completely through for this recording, to play it cleanly and accurately according to the indications on the page. And in listening to the recording, I think there's room still to polish it. Recordings tell a lot, but I decided this was the best I could do for now. So I hope you like my current best performance of study number 7, and then please join me afterwards to dig into ideas for how to play the dynamics and the interval challenges that we find in this study. Well, Clodomir really has us working our dynamics in this study. And what I want to focus on here is that quick change that we're being asked to do. And it's quick changes like this, going from forte to piano in the space of an eighth note at the tempo of 1/26 to the quarter note, that make Clodomir's Little Studies more challenging to play than might be apparent at first glance. To work on it, I use some of the strategies for practicing difficult lines that I talked about in the video for study number 5. I did this in order to work on my response time to make that quick change. We're going to jump into the practice room and look at this and how I approached it. So I talked about this in an earlier video about responding to what's on the page. And number 7 has us between two different eighth notes back to back, going from forte to piano, forte to piano. And that's a quick turnaround. So if this is still giving you trouble, just even practice that as its own thing. So you can build up the coordination. Let your body figure out that quick shift, but take it out of the context, figure it out, and then put it back in. Just making a new exercise, just create your exercises. Now it's time to talk about the idea that I mentioned earlier. It's an approach that builds on what we talked about in video number 6, the video where I brought in the idea of the ball. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, I suggest you check it out because these two ideas really work well together. The thing is that while the ball idea can really help us play the large tongued intervals, help us to get up to those high notes, we don't want to only be bouncing up and down vertically, so much so that we lose the sense of the line of music. It's not good for the music, but especially it's not good for us as we try to play those lines. It could hinder our success with it. Don't worry, there's good news though, because if you think in a certain way while you're playing, it can go more easily. We're going to head back into the practice room again, and we're going to let practicing Deanna talk about what she's doing to help her get herself around study number 7. All right, take it away, Deanna. So what I'm trying to do with this one is, we're building on what we talked about in the video for study number 6 with how we move from one note to the next note. And what I'm also trying to do is think forward. So yes, the notes are doing this, but the air has to go that way. It has to just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, forward, forward, forward. Otherwise, you're going to be willy-nilly all over the place. Think forward, put the air at it, but it's in a forward motion. All the way through it. This motion. Straight through. And then we do some tidying. There's definitely stuff to tidy. Keep in mind that forward-thinking motion, regardless of where the notes are, wherever if they're high or they're low or somewhere in the middle. The line of the music is always moving forward. So you, the player, must think forward. And it will help you while you're trying to play these weird lines. So how do you move forward on the trumpet? Well, with your air. And this idea of go, 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 go. Just keep going, and it's straightforward. This is an idea I've used so many times. I even go so far as to write a note, a sort of note to myself on my music. I draw an arrow that helps me remember, go forward through the line. Grab a pencil if you have a line like this that's difficult, that you're finding is difficult. Put an arrow over it. That arrow gives me, and it can give you, a visual reminder on how to approach a complex line of music. It reminds me to keep going forward with energy. If you haven't already watched the video for study number 6, I encourage you to do so. And even if you have, watch it again to see how this idea of forward motion can really work with the idea that I share about the ball when you're dealing with tongued interval jumps. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel. Join me on this journey. And until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day. Keep playing.